a sample schedule for the refrigeration students. Most of your mornings, early mornings, full days, a lot of lab and theory courses combined. Sample schedule for the plumbing students. You have, once again, full days. And for the carpentry students. We don't have a sample schedule for sheet metal yet, as we haven't offered it before, but I will find out what classes you will have to take and I'll include them in these presentations as well. So some of the expectations, it is mandatory to attend every day, like be in class every day. If you are absent for 3 consecutive days or 5 absences total, we do have the right to remove you from the program. The reason for this is because you will fall behind if you miss that much class, especially if you miss labs, which cannot be made up. So to avoid that,
There you go.
yes.
And then just enlarge it if you want.
Okay.
I don't.
Sorry. Could
If
someone,
this is
could you
cooking or
unmute, can you
what?
please mute your mic? Thank you. And important thing, which you might be already aware of, is that you have to pass all your classes in order to pass level 1. So if you fail one class and you pass the rest, unfortunately, you will fail level 1. So please make sure to try your best. Make sure you're communicating with your professors, with your co-op teachers, and with us, and we can work out something if it is necessary. Sorry, Ezekiel, what do you mean, what if we are late? You mean late to class? Ideally, you shouldn't be late to class because as someone working in the trades, you are expected to be not only on time but early. I think your professors will comment more on that, but please try not to be late. Yes. Student supports, if you have accommodations at your school, you can apply for accommodations at the college with accessible learning services. If you need additional help with math or English, we also offer tutoring one-on-one once a day, so you can apply for that. We also have library services, computers. A popular one is the gym. You have access to everything that the full-time students have access to. So if you need any more information on that, please click on the link once you receive this presentation as well. Electricians, as you may know, the whole program consists of 9,000 hours. 840 of those hours will be in school. For plumbing students, 7,200 hours to complete the OYAP program. Refrigeration, once again, 9,000 hours. Carpentry, 7,200 hours. And sheet metal is 9,000 hours. So as you all know, you'll be in school and back to work and in school again for a couple of cycles until you complete the whole program. It's a program similar at the other colleges. So the difference would be what each college is offering. For example, we might be offering sheet metal, which might not be offered at other colleges. And I think where you end up going will depend on your school board. They assign where you end up. So you will have to discuss with your school boards about that. I also have a contact list for each course, depending which one you're in. And the schedules will not be the same as the ones posted. This is just a sample so you can see how your day may look like, but you will receive your schedule closer to your start date. Is the welding part of this session? Welding will be part of some of the trades, not all of them. I believe refrigeration has welding. Refrigeration doesn't have welding. Will you be able to confirm that?
Yes.
Looking to unmute, maybe?
It does have a component of welding.
Okay, thank you. So refrigeration has welding, sheet metal, I'm assuming
Carpentry as
has
well.
welding, carpentry has
Yep.
welding, electrical has welding. Brian, would you be able to confirm? Actually, let's go
Sorry
back to
about that. The electrical does not have any welding component on it.
Okay, thank you. So electrical might actually be the only one that doesn't have welding then. If I do a co-op at George Brown, would it be best for me to attend?
For the administration, these guys are the professors.
Sorry, can someone, Farhan, would you mind muting your mic, please?
George Brown College to take this course. It has electrical, plumbing, carpentry.
Thank you. Okay, a lot of questions. I will get back to you in a moment. I would just like to move on to refrigeration first. Milt, the coordinator for the refrigeration program, is going to talk to you about the program, and I will answer the questions in the chat. Thank you.
Your mic.
Yeah, folks, thank you. Thank you, Andrea. Folks, welcome this evening for attending. I just wanted to quickly, before I show you a quick presentation on refrigeration, lateness, you have to remember you're working under mechanics. So being late is not, it shouldn't even coming up in conversation you're going to be working in an adult environment as adults. So you're going to be there on time when it's expected of you, like you would in the real world. You wouldn't show up to your work an hour late or 40 minutes late. So the same would be expected of you in the apprenticeship department as well. So keep that in mind. Any parents with their kids, make sure they're there on time, because it's not tolerated, nor is it accepted to be late. I can't speak for the other coordinators, but in my program, definitely, if it's 8 o'clock start time, you're there for 8 o'clock, like everybody else. Anyways, now, refrigeration and air conditioning systems mechanic. I've prepared a little presentation for you just to bring your minds outside of the scope of what we're used to seeing in our industry. When you come for the program, you'll be doing level 1, which is a common core. So what does that mean? That means you'll be introduced to refrigeration and air conditioning for both the residential and the commercial field. Residential, it's tangible. You can see a residential air conditioner, residential heat pump. It's something tangible. People can see it, they understand what it is. But some things that you might not be aware of in the commercial refrigeration would be some of the items I'm going to show for you right now. So when you arrive, you'll be, whether you decide to go residential or commercial will be dependent upon where your employer or what your employer is doing. So if your employer is a commercial company, then you might want to probably follow suit with a commercial. If they're a residential, then you'll be following another path. But the first year is a common core. Now, without getting into details of to hours or I can answer some questions after, let me quickly share my screen here, and I'll show you some things that you might not be considered or might not think of as refrigeration or air conditioning equipment components here. So just, can we get a confirmation that you guys can see my screen okay? Andrea, are we good?
We're good.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's see what we have here. First thing is our capital, outdoor ice rinks, the Winter Classic. Our mechanics, our students construct that. They build the systems for this. They'll build the outdoor systems for it. They will construct the pad. They will set it up. They work for Simcoe Refrigeration. This is one item that, and this is located all over, essentially all over the North America where they offer this. Indoor ski hills in, oh, hang on, I'm going too fast over here. Indoor ski hills in Dubai. Now there are indoor ski hills all over in China, in Dubai. There's, why is it not working for me? Hang on here. Now, another aspect would be commercial refrigeration in terms of pharmaceuticals. We have casket freezers. We have MRI machines where we do the commercial refrigeration for this. We also have the COVID, of course, unfortunately, low temperature freezers for COVID vaccines, cascade refrigeration. Ripley's Believe It or Not. We have the hydronics for that system there as well. We have the fish market industry, ice industries, ice machines, ice makers. We also have Costco, large refrigeration and freezers and coolers in the commercial industry for Costco as well, to name a few. What else do we have? Heating and ventilation and air conditioning for, in this case, hydroponics was a big, for marijuana grow operations. Our students were constructing that. Nuclear power plants. Oh my goodness. The nuclear waste, cooling towers, the Ontario Power Generation, celebrities. We had our students build Drake's system mechanical at his home. Our students were taking a look at the mechanical. Ammonia systems, commercial meat packaging plants, large industrial commercial applications. Ice cream, everyone likes ice cream or loves ice cream. Ice cream facilities, that's another facet for it. Sports, hockey, curling, ice figure skating, all our students, they'll be constructing that as well. The ice rinks, indoor ice rinks. And finally, bobsled, luge, or backyard patios or backyard ice rinks, pardon me, for some of our, more inclined to, money isn't an option, if you will. So, so those are some items that we might be thinking about outside of our industry. Our program is like the rest of the apprenticeship programs. Folks, you have a very, very, very good opportunity here to learn and bypass a lot of the things that the apprentices have to go through in terms of waiting to get into our programs. Our programs, there's a wait list, a couple of years for some students. And here you're getting a free, not a free ride, but a very, very, very good opportunity. So you'll have to excuse me if I'm a little bit particular on being late for my classes or taking this seriously. A trade is something to be taken very seriously. If you're not doing well in school, becoming a tradesperson is not a viable option. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to learn a particular trade before you can even start to getting good at it. So please don't come into the trades thinking these are going to be easy cakewalks for you, because it's not. I can't speak for the other trades, but I know they're all difficult in their own respective rights. So again, I stress, if you're not doing well in school, don't come to a trade. You're better off going to university. You can have less chance of hurting somebody at university than you do in a trade, and I mean that as respectfully as possible. I've seen a lot of students come through the programs thinking, oh, I might want to do a trade. The only advice I have for you is you have youth on your sides, and you have a little bit of time to select which one of the trades you might like or you might not like. Because you have youth on your side, there's nobody rushing you, and that's important, I think, because this is a long game. You have to love what you do. A trade is no different. You have to take pride in your work. You have to be careful. You have to learn. Then you get good. Then you get fast. And then you have the option of either opening your own company, like some of us here tonight have, or working for somebody and eventually maybe picking a career in teaching of the trades. I kept my talking time to less than 10 minutes. I have a couple of minutes left. If anyone has any quick questions, maybe they can direct them to Andrea, and Andrea can direct them to me. And yeah, that's all I have to say for now. Looking forward to seeing you in the class. Yeah, that's about all I have to say for now. And welcome to George Brown.
Thank you, Mel. Sorry, my computer crashed, so I am on my phone again. But Jules, would you like to go next for carpentry?
Sure, I'd love to. Hello, everybody. My name is Jules Lewis, and I am the program coordinator for the carpentry and building renovations programs at George Brown College. And so a little bit about what to expect from the general carpentry OYAP program at George Brown. As Milt so eloquently said, the trades are serious business, and we expect a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and effort to be put into the classes, and those classes will be both theory-based and shop-based. So Andrea mentioned earlier that you could expect to be in class about 30 hours per week on average, and about half of that time you're going to be physically, maybe even, no, about half the time you're going to be physically in a lab doing the thing. So if you're the kind of person who likes to get your hands dirty and to be active as you learn, that's a great way to do it. That'll work really well for you, but that's not all there is to it. There's the same amount of time you'll be in a classroom with some, rigorous expectations of you there as well, where you'll be doing things like math, trade calculations, plan reading, estimating, all the theory behind the building that you're going to be executing in the shops. So it's a real balance of both sort of academic theory and the actual accomplishing that thing in the shop. It's not just one or the other. It's really a blend of the both. The way we kind of organize the program at George Brown is over the 8 weeks that you would be attending. You would be doing essentially the level 1 basic level of a carpentry apprenticeship, just like any other apprentice who would start from zero and come to school. So what you would be doing in the shop and in the classroom would be the same as an apprentice going in through any other route. What is a little different for us, though, is we recognize that that's a big plateful for folks, for some maybe younger folks who are still in high school. So we also, as part of our program, maybe the others do as well, have kind of a 2-week pre-OYAP, right, that happens during your semester at school. And so we do something a little different in those first 2 weeks that happen sort of end of February, early March. And there we really focus on the basics that you're going to need on the job site when you do your co-op in the second half of that semester. So we'll teach you sort of tool use, site safety, how to conduct yourself appropriately and safely on a job site. And that means how to show up on time, how to show up ready, how to show up with all your equipment and your PPE, and what will be expected of you from a sort of an attitude perspective as well as a skills perspective. We get you trained up a little bit on the tools so that when you show up on site, you can be expected to use a few tools safely and properly. And then we also do a bit of career exploration to really let you know what a carpenter is. What is a carpenter? Everyone has an image of what that is in their mind, some dude with a hammer wandering around, but in fact, the scope of the general carpentry trade is very, very broad, and it can cover anything and everything from the finest woodworking and furniture making to construction, high-rise construction or concrete formwork, and sort of everything in between. And so you get to explore a little bit about what it actually means to be a carpenter, what the different specialties and the scope of that trade are, and then you're a little more prepared as you move on through your apprenticeship to be selective about where you want to go. Like Milt mentioned, there's sort of a residential stream as well as a commercial stream, and while the curriculum that you'll be doing in school is no different in either of those streams, the work that you might be doing on site is very different. So you might choose one route over the other based on what you enjoy most about the trade. One of the some of the things that you will also be doing besides the physical carpentry labs and learning is welding. So one day a week, usually Fridays, you'll end up in a welding lab doing a welding component as well. That's a big part of construction fabrication. So welding is part of our curriculum, as well as things like plan reading and understanding building codes and being able to read specifications and interpreting what's on paper so that you can then build it in 3D in real life. And I think that's the summary of what we do. I'm happy to take any questions if there's more specifics that you need to know.
If any students have questions, you're also free to unmute. Anybody? Questions about carpentry, specific to carpentry? If not, thank you, Jules. I think we can move on to sheet metal then with Chris.
Sure.
Thank you, Jules.
Thank you, Jules and Milt. Both you guys did a great job. My name's Chris Vickers. I started in the college in 1987, so I've been here a long time, a lot of changes, but going back and as to what really got me interested was something very similar to the OYAP program. When I started high school in 1971, the school that I went to had sheet metal, refrigeration, welding. It had really everything that you all have access to now. So you guys are very lucky. Any students are very lucky to be able to, grab any one of these trades as, they're great futures for you. Again, my name is Chris Vickers. My coworker who's here today is Shane Speck. Shane Speck is an old student of mine as well. And I think he's been with us for about 12 years as a faculty member. But have you ever noticed when you walk into a room or a building and you feel hot or you feel cold or you feel damp or you feel dry? I mean, that's kind of what we do. We create human comfort. So what we do is we take air and we play around with it. We heat it, we cool it, we humidify it, we dehumidify it in order to create human comfort. And we work along with all the other trades. Like we don't do this alone. We use Milt's area to this is not all he does, but he repairs equipment. The plumbing, it kind of installs all water lines to our equipment as well as drains. Electrical, thank you, Brian. You do the hooking up of our equipment. Carpentry, you build the houses, right? You build the houses, Jules, and that's where our people go in to install the duct systems. But specifically, what we do is we design duct systems, to create that human comfort. We design the system, we lay out the fittings and the ductwork in order to create the systems. We fabricate them, we ship them to site, we handle them, we install them, and we do all the things. Basically, our goal is to create, again, human comfort. That's certainly one of our big things is, if you walk into a room and you're comfortable, it's, partially because of us. If it's not comfortable, then it could be because of a poor job from one of us, but we hopefully don't have too much of that. A sheet metal worker basically takes thin metal, usually, not always. We tend to go very thin metal up to about 1/8 of an inch. Although when I was in the industry, I worked on 1/4 inch, 3/8 thick metal. And when I say metal, I mean galvanized steel, mild steel, copper, stainless steel, any of the aluminums. We tend to do all the metals depending on what the circumstances are. We shape them, we form them, this metal, using tools like our shears and our brakes and our rollers. And then we assemble them. And at times we have to weld them as well. When we weld, or one of our courses within our program is welding. People are asking about welding, so that's why I'm kind of pointing that out. And they go there, I think, for 3 hours a week, if I'm not mistaken. And like everybody else, it's important to come with a good attitude, come with the intent to be successful. I can pretty well tell you that if you're just sneaking through just to pass, you're probably never going to be able to pass the final exams. And when I say final exams, I mean the government exams, which are called the CFQs that they have to write after they finish their 9,000 hours. and do the 3 levels of training. So I hope that when you do come to our program, you come on time. Milt said it, and so did Jules. You come on time, you come there prepared, in order to be successful. Life is about working hard, and you have to work hard to get ahead. And this is your time. You're getting a great access to a great program. That all you got to do is pick the one that you think you would like the best. Our program, we've basically we install in several disciplines, be it residential. We have a residential component, we have a commercial component, and we have an industrial. The industrial would be more dust collection systems, and there's a lot of our people that do that, and they really love it. So 1 second, sorry about that. Skills that you need, I think you need a reasonably strong math skills. I'm not saying calculus as they do have to do in, I think, electrical, if I'm not mistaken, but you're going to go up to trigonometry, which in my day was grade 12. I think you're doing trigonometry a lot earlier than that nowadays. You have to have a good, hand-eye coordination. You need to have a fair amount of attention to detail. We often take blueprints, and from blueprints we take off fittings and make them, like I said earlier, make those fittings. We ship them, we handle them, we install them, and then we service them afterwards. So you kind of have you have a good opportunity. I think you have a good opportunity in going with the OYAP program. But please, when you do come, try to be prepared and take it seriously. We take it very seriously, and all we ask is that you do the same thing. So if you have any questions, I'm certainly available at any time. You can always get my email and email me at work as well, and I'll certainly get back to you on that. But thank you for listening, and I hope that to see you in, what was it, April, end of April, May and June? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
mid-April. Thank you, Chris. Are there any
Thank you.
students that have any questions regarding sheet metal specifically?
Don't be
No
shy.
questions? Don't be shy, yeah. Actually, going back to carpentry, Jules, if you're still there, we have a question that says, are there any other prerequisites other than just math and English for general carpentry?
Sorry, can you repeat that, please?
Sorry.
Are there any
Is
what?
there any other prerequisites other than just math and English for general carpentry?
No, that's it.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, nothing special at all.
Awesome. Chris, are there any prerequisites for sheet metal?
No, I think if you did general math, not a business math or statistics math or anything, if you just did a regular math that led you up to and including trigonometry, which, like I said, is a lot earlier than it was when I went through. It used to be in grade 12. I think you do trigonometry in grade 9 or 10 now. So if you had that background, we can take it from there and take you to the next step.
Okay, thank you. And I might as well ask Milt the same question. I don't know if you went through it, like computer crashed when you started to present, but are there any prerequisites for refrigeration?
Not for the college program. There is for the union hall. If you are interested in joining a union after the level 1, they do have chemistry, grade 12, and physics as some of the requirements for the local 787. In terms of our program, none that I'm aware of. But it is good to know. There is an amount of chemistry and physics as well in our program, so it's like chicken soup. I guess it can't hurt if you do have some background in that. For us, for now.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on, I will ask the same questions for electrical as well. Brian, since you're next,
Yes. The question, my apologies, was about math. Yes, we do have to trigonometry in level 2 and level 3 trade schools. There is quite a bit of math for us. Can I jump in, show my screen?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Perfect. Here we go. Okay, everyone. My name's Brian Hoodier. I am one of the professors for the electrical apprenticeship. Just showing up on the screen. I always love pointing out to everyone all the different opportunities as far as the different apprenticeships in Ontario through the post-secondary education. For the electrical apprenticeship, something really important as far as how to become an apprentice. The entrance requirements, candidates have to be at least 16 years of age, and a minimum of grade 12 education is recommended with a strong foundation of math, sciences, as well as communications. In order to get started, we always tell people either you can find an employer to hire you, together you and the employer register a contract of apprenticeship with the ministry of colleges and university, and then your employer can contact the regional office, basically as far as the training is concerned. For the electrical apprenticeship, actually we've gone through a number of changes here in Ontario. I don't know if everyone's heard within the last year. We're super excited about it. Prior to, I guess, last September, we only did 3 levels of school. Now we've broken it out a little more, and we're actually doing 4 levels of school. When you add up all of the hours, it just adds an additional 7 weeks. The other way you can get started is to enroll in an accelerated Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program, where you're able to start your training while completing your secondary school. Speaking to your guidance counselor or your co-op education teacher at your secondary school. George Brown also offers a 2-semester, a 3-semester, and a 4-semester post-secondary programs, which introduce candidates to the various trades. And there's a number of different links below to learn more about those different programs. One program I always love to tell students and parents about when they come through the school. I know sometimes individuals aren't 100% sure of what trade to do. We have a program, and I apologize, I can't remember the name of it. I always call it the Tour of the Trades. It allows us to, in the post-secondary programs, just so everyone knows it's available. It allows you to try out several different trades, see how they work out. You would, for example, be doing electrical, plumbing, HVAC, carpentry, and I believe a couple others in there as well. It's a really, really good program. Currently for our level 1 courses, my apologies, this list needs to be updated. We have a number of core subjects. Generally, we have to do 8 core subjects in total. We end up doing prints, our theory, our installation methods, which is actually where we're building things on the boards, testing it out. Then you'll probably be with me with electrical code. Electronics and instrumentation are now removed. But we still do have the Ontario skills math, where we're trying to build up individuals' core math skills. And we also have some additional courses that have now been added as far as, basically it teaches you a lot about, I guess, the apprenticeship program and all the different types of documentation and control that we do. Moving forward, so let's say, for example, our apprenticeship for the electrical is 9,000 hours in total, just so everyone knows how that works. Like I said, it's changed from what's on the screen right now. Now we have to do a total of 4 levels of school. Basically, you have to find an employer or sponsor for your training, register your apprenticeship with the ministry, and then you're actually on the job doing training while getting paid. And in, call it that, every year period, we're now sending people to school for 9 weeks. Out of the 9,000 hours, if you divide that, I guess, by the number of hours that people work a week, A 9,000-hour apprenticeship actually works out to about 4.5 years. So it's actually a little better than a lot of people think. Each time you come back to the different levels of school, we're kind of increasing your knowledge base. We're getting you to that next level each and every single time. So when I look back, I guess, at the outline of the level 1 courses, basically in the prints class, we teach you how to navigate the prints, how to be able to find things on a job site, for example. Theory class, we're going to teach you the theory behind everything. In the installation methods class, we'll be going through and actually building everything, testing it out. And also in the, yeah, that's kind of about it for that one. Jumping forward, there are 3 different types of electrical license that you can go for. One's called a 309A, which is what I have, which is a construction and maintenance license. There's a 442A, which is an industrial electrician, as well as a 447, which is instrumentation and control. There's one other one that's kind of come out a little more recent, which is called a 309C, which is actually means that students actually only have to do 3 levels of school instead of 4, but that is for a residential electrician only. Personally, my recommendation for everyone is always to go for a 309, do the additional year of schooling, because then it means that you're allowed to do that much more work out in the field, and it means you'll make that much more money at the end of the day. Okay. How to become an electrician. They say, I guess the average salary is somewhere around 77,000. It kind of ranges. It goes up and down. When I look at, I guess, across the industry as far as an electrician is concerned, a licensed electrician, I would probably say that on average we're being paid somewhere between 40 to 55 or $60 an hour. With the union, they're sitting somewhere around, I believe they're sitting at 58 an hour right now as well. We also, obviously, as far as the electrical is concerned, recommendation for individuals, if you do want to get involved with the union, there's also the Electrical Alliance. We always recommend that students try to sign up through them because they can actually sign up individuals' apprenticeships. And sometimes they're actually looking for people as far as work is concerned, and they might be able to help you with some of the processes. They're a really good organization. For the IBEW, they recommend that you have to have very strong levels of math. But what I would recommend, go to the Electrical Alliance online. Just make an application over to them or take a look at what they're offering. And if you're interested, just send them a message and move through their paperwork. Through the apprenticeship, basically everyone has a standardized training agreement. We have certain things that we have to check off that we're working on or doing things within our 4.5 year period doing our apprenticeship. So I guess a number of the different trades or areas that individuals could work in as far as the electrical field's concerned. Individuals could be doing residential rough-in installations. So these are pictures of inside of a house project from students. You could be getting into possible panel wiring. That's a finished product. Also lighting. And I will jump back to questions and share my email shortly after this, if you don't mind. Also, we can do different types of lighting controls. We have lighting trainers in our facilities in order to be able to train students how to work on these types of equipment. For our prints classes, we'll go through the different types of electrical blueprints, and we have a tendency of working off of a book for the residential installations for level 1 from Cengage. I'm actually one of the more current writers of this book, and we're now up to date with the 2024 edition that just came out last year. And then on the Canadian Electrical Code, that's basically everything that we have to go through in trade school. At the end of the apprenticeship, basically what happens is you have a certificate of completion from the college. And then once you have finished all of your hours, it allows you to go write an exam. Under the ministry, it's 100 questions with a 4-hour time limit. You have to navigate through the code book, try to find the answers and so forth. So this is, I guess, a picture of our Canadian Electrical Code. Once again, it's now been updated to the 24 version. Other types of work that we could be doing is possibly working in the condo market, working on concrete slabs and piping. So we go through and train students how to do that. Also teach them how to work on duct banks, which is basically where we bring all of our main power and distribution into a large facility. This, I believe, was one of the projects downtown Toronto. It's actually quite nice. We also do conduit installation, as well as training through the school for that. Panel installations, equipment, variable frequency drives. We also do transformer and distribution systems. Yeah, quite a bit of different things here. Main power distribution, generator installations for residential sector or even for commercial applications, like, for example, for a hospital. We cover solar installations, control cabinet wiring, as well as motor control wiring, which we do the training in the school. We also study variable frequency drives somewhere in year 4, as well as an electronic device called a PLC controller or a program logic controller. We also do switch gears, as well as different testing. And my personal favorite, because it's my actual background, is actually building automation controls. Does anyone have any questions for me? And I'll go back on the text in here and see if there's any other questions here. Jordan had asked, I want to get into the electrical program, but the physics class won't be until the same semester. It'd be applying to OYAP. Is that fine? Yes, I think you'd be fine with that. The electrical union, as far as 353 is concerned, they do have certain criteria if you are trying to get into the union. I would take a look at the Electrical Alliance. They are the individuals that deal with the apprenticeship for the IBEW, and they would be able to give you a better direction on what different maths to take. Yes. Does anyone have any questions for me for electrical?
I think they're also asking about grade 12 math.
Yes. Physics isn't required for electrical, and it's not a requirement in order to take the electrical program itself. It is a plus that would help you out, because, as I said, we do have a lot of math in our calculations. Yeah.
Do you think grade 12 math would be necessary
Yes.
or grade 11 would be enough?
I think grade 11 would be enough. If individuals are applying over to 353 or wanting to get into the electrical union, the recommendation, like I say, is to take a look at the Electrical Alliance online, see what their recommendations are. And you can always start in the trade, in the non-union sector, or in a different sector, possibly do a night school course in physics in order to boost that markup, or to complete it, and then make an application over to 353 as well.
We also have a question about what happens if you leave. Do you mean like if you only complete some weeks for the OYAP program, like in school? You would have to complete the whole thing. If you only complete part of it, you would either be withdrawn or you would fail, and you would have to come back and complete the whole thing again.
You would definitely have to do the school over again. At the end of the day, even though we are at a college, I like to tell students that while people are in school doing the electrical programs, basically you are at work. Individuals, like when individuals are doing natural apprenticeship, they're being paid to be at school. So it's in everyone's best interest to be there, be on time. Now we say to people, all of the teachers, we are all potential employers. There's no way in the world any of us would hire any of you if you're not showing up to school on time or you're playing around, not paying attention. That's not what we're here for. A lot of us have a lot of very, very distinct skill sets, and you want to listen to us and try to take as much information as possible.
Thank you.
Glenn asks, is it generally just smaller contractors taking on people? No, that's not true. Sorry, my apologies. I wouldn't say it's necessarily smaller contractors. I know a lot of individuals have seen the market, or I don't know if you have seen, we're in a short supply of skilled labor in Ontario. Right now is a great time in order to get into the trades, but just so everyone knows, obviously because of COVID, the last 2 years, we've had a bit of a slowdown in the construction sector, and it will start picking up again as projects are starting to rebuild again.
I would also like to point out that if you are going to apply for the OYAP program, and if you are looking for employers, it is important that you find employers that have a journey person, because you have to be taken in as an apprentice, and they will not count your hours unless you have a journey person that's leading you as an apprentice. So you have to talk to your employer about that and make sure that that works out first. I think depending on the trades, some journey people can only take one apprentice, maybe more, but I believe most of them is just one. If someone would like to correct me, please do so. Okay. Thank you, Brian. I want to apologize. We also offer the plumbing program. However, our plumbing professor had a little emergency and was not able to join us today. But I would just like to once again show you the schedule that we had for last year, so you can see the classes that you will be taking. So this would include plumbing systems level 1. You will have a lot of theory. You will also have a lab class for welding, workplace safety, rig hoisting, trade calculations, tools and piping methods, a math class, and plumbing systems level 1. So these are all the classes that you will be taking in April if you do decide to come into the plumbing program, which is honestly really great program. I just want to show you the lab here. They have made it so that it mimics like a real house. So you would go into the whole plumbing system. Not that one, this one. So yes, it is theory heavy, but you will also be working in the lab and you will also complete projects. So if you have any questions about plumbing, feel free to put them in the chat and we will try to put a document with all the answers after I get them from the professor. You are also welcome to email the professor directly. His email will be included in the initial presentation that we had with everyone's contact information. So I think I would just like to use the last remaining 5 minutes for general questions. What where am I? Just sharing my school advice at grades of my physics. Oakley said, my school advised that grade 12 math and physics were required for OYAP electrical. Maybe should confirm with their guidance. Yes, that would be great,
I definitely confirm that with the guidance. As far as being an electrician, just to clarify, just to be an electrician, you do not have to have that grade 12 math. But if it's a requirement for your school in order to apply, then you have to follow the rules and regulations from the school.
Thank you, Brian. For plumbing co-op placement during the OYAP program, does GBC set this up just like high school would? No, you are responsible for finding your own placements. So we can help you with like your resume and interview techniques and also like applying for a job in general, but finding your placements is your own responsibility. My son is applying for the accelerated electrical OYAP program. We hear about there is a shortage of trades, but understand finding an employer to apprentice you is hard if you don't know someone. Does George Brown offer any support? So once again, we would offer support and like techniques to finding a job. And potentially some people may have connections, but it comes down to the student to find a placement. Is there a deadline for finding a sponsor? Well, the faster you find them, the earlier you can start to complete your hours for in work experience. But I don't believe there is a deadline for it. I would confirm with your school boards about that though. Is it possible to get more details regarding HVAC? What details are you talking about? Are there any specific details you would like to know? So I'm just going to move on real fast. If you do OYAP for an electrician and get your first year, will union accept this?
Yes, I will. I work for them as well.
There is. Do you offer certified industrial electrician program? I'm grade 12 going into OYAP next semester, but I want to do industrial.
So as far as the apprenticeship is concerned with the new outline, George Brown does not do the industrial electrical side. However, that is the 4th year program course. What my recommendation is, George Brown, we are very, very specific to the downtown core, as well as the surrounding areas. So we have a tendency of targeting some of the larger companies and some of the larger projects. We do have an agreement with the union where half of our students that actually come into the school are paid seats by the union. So we are 50-50 going through.
Thank you.
But as far as the industrial electrical, my apologies. It's the same courses that you have to take for level 1, 2, and 3. And that's the 4th year where you'd have to go to another school, like for example, possibly a little farther up north, or possibly over to Durham or Humber, just to finish your final classes.
Thank you. I think my last question would be, what courses does HVAC require, and are the courses mandatory before applying to OYAP?
There are no courses required for George Brown. Let me just say this, when you're using the terminology HVAC, there's no heating in our program. Heating is a separate entity. Our system is a refrigeration air conditioning systems mechanic. And there is a mistake, and we do heating, but we do that on our own time through other providers. The college offers a gas fitter 3, gas fitter 2, gas fitter 1 program. That is not included in our program. The term is used for post-secondary programs at George Brown, the post-secondary HVAC technician technologist program, which is heavy on heating, which you will get your G2. And I will dare say there is a little bit of refrigeration in that program, a sprinkling of refrigeration, if you will. So to answer the question, if you are referring to, and I just see another question, no, it's not required for it's not required for HVAC grade 12 physics in our program, the apprenticeship. But the union does require grade 12 physics and chemistry, if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on that. Oh, sorry. Hope that helps.
Hi there. Can I just ask a quick question just on Mike? Just with regards to the finding of a placement, it's been communicated by the school that the school does help you find the sponsor or the placement. Is that correct, or is it up to the student to go ahead and find their own?
Well, if it is by the school, it would be the high school, but it wouldn't be through George Brown.
Got you. Perfect. Thank you so much for clarifying. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah. Definitely talk to your schools about finding a placement, but yeah. Can I just ask a question? Would anyone be able to clarify like the difference between doing an OYAP compared to like a regular apprenticeship?
OYAP, going through OYAP, basically, you don't have to pay to go to the college to complete it. It allows you, it's a mixture of a high school / college program that gives you credits, I guess, to finalize or complete high school for the OYAP one. But it's in-person training in school where we're doing the same exact program as the actual, like for example, the electrical apprenticeship. We're possibly taking a little extra time to be able to go through things a little gentler before sending individuals out into the field for training.
Thank you. Okay, I think you guys have another session back with your school boards starting at 8:30, but if anyone has some, so OYAP gets you level 1. You would complete level 1 with OYAP. Yes. My son wants to start OYAP in grade 11 for electrical. Electrical, it is a very competitive trade to get into, so I believe the school boards would give priority to grade 12 students. How do we contact the electrical union? Do you know about that, Brian?
Yes,
How
I
to
work for them.
contact Oh, thank you. Perfect.
I'm trying to pull up the website. I actually do their training as well. One of the unique things is with the union, somewhat of an added advantage before if you're a union worker, before you go into trade school, they have a tendency of sending all of the students into a training session just to preemptively go through a number of, I guess, the larger topics in trade school to kind of ease the information in. So I work for them, do their courses weekends.
Okay, thank you. All right, I believe that's it on our side. If you have, is G2 another way of saying level? I think G2 is your license, a G2 permit.
Mhm.
Are
Yeah,
there gas technicians?
sorry. Sorry, that's for your heating component, gas
Oh.
level 2.
And would gas level 2, that's separate from level 1
From-
OYAP, right?
From the level 1 OYAP refrigeration, air conditioning systems mechanic, there is no G at all in that program, no gas.
Thank you. Sorry, Melt, one more question. If we find our own employer, what qualifications would he need for refrigeration mechanic?
Oh, that's fantastic. If right off the bat, the employer will sign you up as an apprentice. And if you are lucky enough to get an apprentice that early on, qualifications, anything you have would be great. But as an apprentice, that's where you begin. Your career as an apprentice begins like that, essentially. The employer basically starting you off as an apprentice. And that's where I was earlier on, I was hinting at where that person that employs you will either be in the commercial or the residential stream of the refrigeration systems mechanic. So that will dictate which route you decide or which route you'll be pursuing. Hope that helps.
I think you can also show them that you potentially have completed OYAP level 1 as in refrigeration to let them know that you have a background in it.
Oh, absolutely. I was under the impression that the student hasn't come to the apprenticeship program initially, but
Oh, okay, yeah.
absolutely,
Unless it's
absolutely.
before that, yeah.
Yeah, before that, fantastic. Before that, fantastic. But once you're, just to what Brian was saying earlier on, this is an apprenticeship program. This is an official apprenticeship. It's the same program that the apprentices take. The same hours. We're all licensed mechanics, so when you come to our class, you're contributing to the hours for your apprenticeship. So we can teach you. So we're all representatives of our respective fields, and yeah, you're doing an apprenticeship, and we might take a little bit longer to articulate some items or some points, but at the end of the day, when you're in our class, you're getting taught to the curriculum standards for each of our respective fields.
Thank you, Milt. You can find any employer as long as they are certified. You just have to make sure that they're a journey person and that they can take an apprentice. Sorry, one more question. So can you do the heating aspect later, or once you do 313A, you can't get the gas fitter licenses?
No, the students that take our program, or or the same apprenticeship program in the other community colleges or the union hall, they will be taking the gas either night school, weekends, whatever works for them. So yeah, it's a supplement to our license. Now, how they or where they take it, it depends on you can even do it online. Some components of that program as well for the heating section. Start off with gas level 3, then gas level 2, part A, B, then gas level 1 or your G1.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, so any questions for Okay, I think for all the students, you have a session back with your school boards. And we will be sharing that initial presentation with you with everyone's contact information. So if you want to reach out to anyone, you can do so that way. So thank you for attending. And if I could just have the coordinator stay for 2 minutes at the end.
And if I
Thank
can
you.
say one thing, I apologize,
go ahead.
Shane. Just to point out, wasn't it you, one of your students that won the Skills Canada this year? I just wanted to point that one out. My apologies. Amazing time. If anyone ever has an opportunity, every year, somewhere around March, they do a Skills Canada competition for all of the trades. It's absolutely incredible to go and watch all of the different skill sets in motion. And we're quite proud we picked up the gold this year for sheet metal. Did an absolutely amazing job. Anyways.
That's awesome to hear. Thank you, Brian. Wow. Okay, I'm just waiting for people to move out and I will stop recording.